I think Apple, Meta, Microsoft, these are some of my biggest holding. The
Okay.
last bull run, right? Before the great financial crisis, can still grow maybe through my whole lifetime. So I can buy once and I just, forget about them. Consumer and tech companies. So of course, your Tencent, your Alibaba are still inside my portfolio, and I.
Hi, Stanley. Hey, great to have you here
Hello.
today. Hey,
Yes.
thanks for
Thank you,
joining
James.
the dinner interview. Yeah, it's been quite a long time since we catch up.
I haven't seen you for a long time already.
Yeah. I think we should catch up for coffee one day when you come by Singapore again. Okay.
Definitely.
Hey, so I understand back then transition, right? So last time you are doing Value Invest Asia, and then now you are having a new website called learnwithstanley.com. So maybe do you want to share about your new role and what are you doing right now?
Okay, yeah, sure. Actually, nothing much is changed too drastically. So previously, I write my blog on the website valueinvestasia.com, which is still active. Uh, but I just have a more proper official website that links all my social media and all my blogs in one place lah, which is learnwithstanley.com. So I did that mainly because over the past years, especially during COVID started, there's a lot of scams out there, especially on Telegram, that was using my name and my website and everything. So I just want to have a proper place to tell people, right? These are the official accounts that I'm managing. Other than that, it's all not me. So basically, like is that. But also after COVID, I have actually joined iFast Global Market as a wealth advisor as well. So I am still producing content online, mainly through my YouTube, which is Learn with Stanley. But from there also, I just want to encourage more people to start investing, and of course, if they need my help, I'm there to help them as their wealth advisor as well.
Nice. Maybe I just jump to the next question. So how do you start investing?
Wow, this is quite a long history already. I would say that even my own memory is not that well. I started investing 2005, 2006. So the
Oh, okay.
last bull run, right before the great financial crisis, and basically I just started working at that time. So and my first job was I was an engineer trained. So my first job was actually in a automotive manufacturing plant, and I realized that my salary is impossible to reach any meaningful wealth lah, to build any meaningful wealth from that. So I started to I started to dive into investing. But during uni years, I was already studying and understanding it. Just that I don't have the capital to start investing. So it
Mm.
feels natural that once I have some money, and especially when I first started, I'm lucky that my parents give me some small sum of money to get started in life. So with that, I just plow everything into the stock market. But at the beginning, I wouldn't say am investing lah. I'm speculating like everybody else.
Speculating. Yeah. Same lah. I make a lot of mistakes at the start. And later on, we will touch on the mistakes in later questions.
Can. If you have
Okay,
4 hours, no problem.
4 hours. No lah. I think people will doze off already. Okay. Then the next question I have, what is your investing style, right? Given that you started off with Value Invest Asia, so do you have are you more towards the value investing and in Asia stocks, or how does it work? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually where I started to become more serious about investing, and which is why we set up the valueinvestasia.com together with two of my friends. Yeah, but at the beginning, I would say I'm what you describe as a very deep value investor, and I focus mainly on the Malaysian market and the Singapore market. So
Mhm.
I would look through like 52-week low. What are the companies, and then see what are the if they are worth investing in. What do up their valuation. See if they are undervalued. Very Ben Graham style. But I would say it changes over time. Especially I think since 2014 13 and 14. After that, right, after I recover from the stock market crash, I started realize moving more and more towards just investing in high quality companies. And that's also when I move more towards the US market as well. So even until today, I still invest maybe like 20% to 30% in Asia market. But the majority now is mainly on the US market, and I focus a lot on very high quality companies that can still grow maybe through my whole lifetime. So I can buy once and I just forget about them. So I would say that is my current investing style. But of course, is investing is ever changing, and I'm always learning and finding out new things.
Yeah, that's cool. So, do you want to share your current holdings, your portfolio, and some top picks lah? Yeah,
Hmm.
maybe on both the US and the Asia side.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, so I don't check my portfolio that often. I would
Mm,
say the last time I checked, a lot of them are still the big names, because over time they have just grown to become the biggest position. So your usual, your
mm,
Apple, I think Apple, Meta, Microsoft, these are some of my biggest holding, and I bought them
mm.
since 2000, maybe 14, 15, and hold it till now. So they have just grown in
Multi-baggers.
size. Yeah, yeah, they just grown in size. And then I think the one that I have, of course, some of the China stocks as well, but I also just focus
Mm.
on what I focus mostly on is like consumer tech.
And if you have enjoyed this video thus far, I will greatly appreciate it if you can help me to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell so you get notified every time I release another stock analysis video.
Consumer and tech companies. So of course, your Tencent, your Alibaba are still inside my portfolio, and I am still holding on to them despite them not doing that well over the past few years, right? I just
Mm.
want to have that diversification, right? Not be 100% just pure US stocks. And I would say maybe one of the most I guess unexpected stock that I have in my top holding might be Guizhou Maotai. And
Oh.
also, I do have some ETF as well. So, especially over the past few years, I have, if I have just invested in ETF, mainly the Hong Kong market or the US market, in that sense, yeah. So rather than stock picking.
Mm. Mm. So maybe to add on, for your Hong Kong ETF, right, you mentioned you also have like Tencent and Alibaba. So given that over the past 2 years or 3 years, right, it's been coming down, do you have any kind of approach to review them or things like that, or you just stay put with the position itself?
Yeah, so of course we when the stock keep going down for so many years, you start to question yourself. You start to question yourself whether you make a mistake. But
Mm,
at the end of the day, I still want to go back to the fundamentals. When the fundamentals, and especially my recent trip in March, I went to China as well, just with holiday with my family, and it kinds of reinforce the idea that my thesis that I have, which is Tencent and Alibaba, they are also ingrained into the society, right? It's
mm,
almost you can see them as a utility. Right? I really see a lot of
mm,
this tech company as just a utility company, and they are a necessity in the current society. And so, as long as they remain that position, and I feel that they should generally do pretty well over time. That being said, I think China, of course, what we've seen is the government has basically tell them however big or however powerful you guys are, the government is the biggest, right? I think everybody
mm.
gets it
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And so what it means that is a lot of this tech company, maybe they will be restricted to grow too big. And what this means, I feel, at least in my mind, is they would start to have a lot of cash, and they will start growing their cash plow because just their business is so profitable, they cannot stop the flow of money
Mm,
coming into to their bank account, and they are restricted to invest in other areas so to grow themselves bigger. So another likelihood that will happen to them is this company might become just dividend stocks in the future, right? Because they don't have
oh,
anywhere to go, and they need to either give back some of this cash. You already see, right now, Tencent, Alibaba, what they do is they buy back shares, right? Yeah,
Mm,
because their share price is so low, which they feel, and they have a share buyback program, right? But over time,
mm,
if their share recovers or what, or it comes to a
mm.
fair value to them, then with all this cash that they have and they cannot reinvest, then I think they might look into the area that becoming a dividend
Dividend
stocks in the future.
policy.
Yeah.
So I think Alibaba already giving out dividends. So I
Yeah.
think that
Very, very,
is
very, very,
like
very small.
very, very small, but at least that is the right direction that you are predicting. Lah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, thanks. So next question, I think just now you mentioned when you first started out, you go for the Ben Graham 52 weeks low and the kind of
Mm,
undervalued assets, right? So then
mm.
now you do trips to like China to check out the companies. But let's say lah, for a layman, right? How do you maybe encourage people to conduct the research?
Okay, so I would say right now, um, I okay. So in research, right, there's basically two key areas. One is what we call
Mm,
bottom up investing, and one is called top down
mm,
investing, right?
mm,
And when we learn about value investing, a lot of us is focused on
mm,
the bottoms up. So you look at the company and then see if it's worth investing. But now,
mm,
I would say over the past few years, more of my approach is what we call top down. So I still, read about business development or where the industry is going in industry development, but to not a specific objective in mind. So I just read and understand the business environment, and then if I found like a particular area that is interesting, then I would look at it. What are the companies within that, and then I will research some of the companies and find if they are worth investing. I'll give you an example. Like last few years until now, my research take a long time. I'm very slow in my research, but say I'm looking at this area in cybersecurity. So I would just try to understand a little bit more about the industry, how the industry works, who are the main players, what are their
mm,
key selling point, right? What differentiate them, and then who are the big players and or why they differentiate from their different competitors. And then from there,
mm,
I would shortlist some of the keys these companies that I feel that's interesting. And then typically I will monitor them lah, to see if I want to invest in them or not. One I guess decision that I make, I try to make is I can always buy the ETF, right? So I always compare to if I buy S&P 500 ETF and if I buy this stock.
mm,
If I feel that this stock has potential to give me higher return than the S&P 500, then maybe I'll buy this stock. But given that it's not too the risk is not too much higher than buying S&P 500 lah, right? But
mm,
if I feel that I can still get relatively good returns from the S&P 500 or from Hang Seng Tech Index or Hang Seng Index, then I just buy the ETF. So over
mm.
the past few years, I guess that has been how I think about it, and that is also why a lot of my money actually went to just ETF, right?
Okay, cool. So you're thinking of in terms of opportunity cost lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's nice. Okay, so we know that you have a lot of stocks, right? But do you have anything else parked elsewhere in your portfolio itself?
If you say things other than stocks,
Mm,
I would say maybe close to 90% of what I have is in stocks.
mm,
But then apart from that, if you don't count the house that I stay in, I do have some crypto, but I only buy the
Bitcoin.
known names lah, like Bitcoin, Ethereum. I don't go get
Okay.
I don't dive into all the uh
Funny
sophisticated names on. I
altcoins.
don't understand. Don't ask me. I don't know. So I just
Yeah.
open a Luno account in Malaysia, and then I just buy it from there. That's all I have.
Um,
But
okay.
not a big amount. More as a interest, and I
Mm,
tend to every time something new comes up, I would try to experiment with it. Like say for example, 10 years ago they have this peer-to-peer lending, right? There's a lot of peer-to-peer lending platform. I
Mm.
also just put some money inside and just try and see where it goes, to see that if this strategy works or not. But yeah, but I would say most mainly I still just park in stocks lah.
Okay, thank you. That's the improvement now.
At least for me lah, personally, right?
Uh, yeah, same for me. Okay, so then can you share some of your investing mistakes?
Okay. This one is many different mistake that I make over the years.
Mm,
And I feel that in investing, it's always a probability game. So I never expect every stock that I pick will do well, and I always expect it will be their basket. And in fact, last few years I track back. So every year, how many percent of my stock actually gone up? How many percent of my stock goes down? Typically, I'm actually in around the range of 70-30. So, even in good years, I do have like 20-30% of my stock doing under the
not so well.
yeah, not so well. But in terms of key mistake that I invest and I realize that is my fault. Uh, I would say that one key one is actually a company that turned out to be a fraud. And is this company listed in Singapore,
Mm.
which is Areta Sports or something, a
Ireta
long time ago.
lifestyle, is it?
Yeah, a very small small cap in Singapore.
Mm.
I don't know if you can officially call it a fraud lah, but it there were some questionable accounting inside, and I bought
Mm.
it mainly because it was at the time a net cash company. So I think more than 10 to 12, 13 years ago I bought into it. And at the time I was still like a deep value investor, and
Mm.
they actually end up with a huge cash pile. They end up wanting to do a big rights issue, and we even go to the AGM and things like that. And after the AGM, I realized that something is not right lah.
Mm.
It is quite uh,
Questionable.
questionable what they're doing. So
Mm.
I just end up selling. Uh, but in the more recent years, also I caught myself just swept up a little bit into FOMO during COVID, when
Uh,
everybody was just investing and the stock price was just going up no matter what. I started venturing into buying much smaller cap tech companies as well, which what is not
mm.
what I normally do lah, right? I stick to the at least the mid or the large cap, and then I think I
Mm.
get swept up into that frenzy, and then I started dabbling a little bit onto all those stocks, and some of them has crashed 80-90%. Uh, I have mostly sold
Mm.
out and cut loss, but I wouldn't say losing 90% is cut loss, but but yeah, just out of the mistake, and then I realized that uh,
Yeah.
no matter what, we are sometimes our worst enemy, and then we have to
Mm.
always double check that. Especially when everybody is in a frenzy, it's hard to see
Mm.
yourself inside.
Mm. Yeah. Thank you for that honest sharing. Actually, I also make that few mistakes. Mine was because I'm focusing on small cap stocks
Uh-huh.
right from the beginning. So mine is Pearl China, another China
Uh,
kind of S chip that got bankrupt. But
mhm.
yeah, thanks for sharing
Uh,
on this. Yeah. Okay, next question. What's your retirement plan like?
mm, uh,
Haven't thought of
actually,
that.
I don't know how to answer. I don't know how to answer this question. But I would say that what I think about is how do I want to structure my life. And
Mm.
over the past 10-20 years, I realized that what I value more than other thing is really the freedom of time. So even when I
Mm.
choose what kind of job I want to do, and the reason why I kept on investing is I want to reach a point where I can basically choose what I want to do with my time, right? Be it work, be it whatever, right? And I do
Mm.
enjoy the work. So as long as I have reached the point, I think I can consider it retired. even though I might be still working, but as long as I am at the place where I can decide what I want to do with my time, I feel that's a pretty good retirement plan. And
Mm.
as long as I'm enjoying it, then that's fine.
So do you foresee yourself being like a wealth advisor even during your maybe later years? You're going around to meet people,
Mm,
giving financial advice.
yeah, yeah. So before joining this industry, I think a lot about what I want to do and what I can do in a sustainable manner.
Mm.
And say, for example, during COVID, of course, I was very focused on just building up my YouTube. But that was also when I started thinking, is really doing YouTube and uh, just continue doing YouTube a sustainable career, right? And what I feel that I might not be able to sustain it. Even if I want to, right? If I think I'm 60 years old and I still have to churn out 3 videos a week or one video, by the time I think maybe 3-4 videos a day lah, right? As the
Mm.
frequency, like the frequency is picking up. But
Yeah.
I just feel that this is maybe not really the sustainable method, right?
The route that
Which
you
is
can
why,
follow.
yeah,
Mm.
which is why I think I want to go into the wealth advisory industry. Also because I saw a lot of the practices, at least my wealth advisor, how the industry is structured and how the industry is doing their work. I feel uh, there are some room of improvement, and I
Mm.
think what I can do is at least slightly different, and I can differentiate myself from other people. And
Mm.
if it becomes a sustainable model, then I'm more than happy to do it for a long time. And if I reach a point where I can select my client, then all the better. Right.
Well, I think you're my role model. I must after my YouTube, I must look forward to you to become like a wealth advisor.
You better don't follow me, because the blind leading the blind. I'm also just figuring out as I go. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so last question that I have. Any advice for our readers out there?
Uh, I I don't know what kind of advice I can give. But if your readers and your viewers are thinking about starting investing, and just start getting started out in dabbling into investing, I would say that don't get too worried about what stock you buy or what stock to buy, because that's actually not
Mm.
that important. The more important one is actually to cultivate the correct, I guess, philosophy, and also the correct mindset that you have in investing, right? To believe in long-term investing, to believe that the stock market is basically a store of wealth for you, rather than a way to get rich quick, right? Is definitely not a way to get rich quick. And even we go back, even Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, we all see him as this investing guru, but for his point, from where he started, officially started, to where he become a millionaire, it's also take about a decade. All right, even the best of the best takes about 10 years to reach that status.
Mm.
So for us, I think we can expect it to be much longer. And so
Mm.
investing is really not a place where you want come to get rich quick, right? But rather
Mm.
get rich slowly, but quite surely, if you have the right mindset. And I think that's where you
Mm.
should get started first, to train that mindset and train that cultivate that philosophy first before you even start investing in a single stock.
Mm. Wow, well spoken. Mine over the stocks that we buy. Because whenever we do YouTube or whatever blog posts, it's always the top, whatever stocks that
Mm-hmm.
attract people. But actually, we should think on the other, uh, in contrast, lah, on the opposite side of the camp. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you
yeah.
so much. Thank you, Stanley, for this webinar. Okay, so talk to you again. Hopefully in person next time.
All
Okay, thank
right.
you.
Thanks, James. Thanks for the invite. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
And thank you,
thank you, Stanley.
guys.
Bye
Thanks for
bye.
listening in. Bye.
Before we end off, if you find the video helpful, I will appreciate it if you can help me to tap the like button and share the video so more people get to know about this video. Next up, don't forget to check out this video over here if you have another few minutes to spare. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching and ciao.